What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to yet another video here in the Action Makes More studio, also known as the office upstairs in my house. Today we are talking about cardio, more so cardio in relation to fat loss and the relationship they share in order to go hand in hand with each other. And within that I will give you the pros and cons to using cardio, how you would use cardio, different types of cardio, and overall how it would work well within a fat loss regime. And so without further ado, let's get into the video. Right then guys, let's not waste any time, let's dive straight in with number one, which is the goal. So first things first, the goal. The looming question, do you need cardio for fat loss, usually comes around when people are trying to lose fat, surprisingly. Before we even get into whether cardio is a good idea or whichever, the first thing that you need to make sure you have in place in regards to any sort of fat loss routine or cutting phase you are going through is your nutrition. Straight away, your nutrition is one of the most important factors in regards to it. If you're eating too many calories way above your maintenance, you are straight up just not going to lose any fat. It was a stupid idea to be wearing a jumper in a room as hot as this. When it comes to nutrition, alongside having your nutrition in check, in regards to fat loss, nutrition is near enough the most important thing, but you also want to make sure you're building a bigger and bigger surplus. You want to make sure you're building a bigger and bigger deficit in regards to your nutrition, because that is what's going to aid fat loss a lot. Cardio is only going to make that deficit a bit bigger. So in regards to fat loss guys, basically nutrition is key and should be your main priority. The more long-winded endurance style cardio you do, the more your body becomes used to doing that sort of style, and therefore it will adapt, and when it adapts you'll burn less calories, meaning that you'll have to up the intensity when it comes to endurance training. However, on the other hand, if you were to make use of HIIT, high intensity interval training, your body would still adapt to this. However, because it's such high intensity, you're still going to burn the same amount of calories, if not more, each time. The goal in regards to fat loss should not be to lose weight. The term weight can also be lean tissue, such as your muscles. The more muscular you are, the higher your basal metabolic rate will be, and the more muscle you retain during fat loss will determine the kind of physique you will receive. Obviously you don't want to be skinny fat, you want to have some sort of muscle, and overall that will give you a better, more desired physique at the end of your fat loss program. Moving on to the next point guys, do you actually need cardio for fat loss? The simple answer to that question is no. You don't need to use cardio for fat loss. You can do, but I particularly like to find cardio is a tool for fat loss more than it is anything else. Use cardio to your advantage. Too much of it will be a disadvantage. You will overtrain yourself, overload your central nervous system. That will just plateau you completely because you'll be done for a few days. I totally get it. I have used cardio in the past, but I didn't use it correctly, and using it correctly is key in regards to the actual overall result you get. If you use cardio correctly, it can get you out of that plateau you always seem to find yourself in, and whether you're someone who's trained before and just can't seem to get rid of that extra belly fat, you can't seem to get to the desired point you see yourself being at within the time limit you give yourself, it's probably because your cardio isn't set out correctly. Obviously we know that in regards to fat loss you need your nutrition in check. You also need to make sure you're doing some resistance training to get your desired physique, and alongside that cardio can be used as a tool in the last few weeks or so. The idea is you want to plan your cardio in, you want it to be varied as well. You don't just want one type of cardio, you want to throw in HIIT and lifts, because your body can adapt to the different sort of training styles you do it. Maybe endurance if you enjoy it. I've currently got endurance in mine alongside HIIT and lifts. You want to vary it because you don't want your body to get used to it, and if it does start to get used to it, you either up the intensity or change it around a bit. Moving on guys, the third point, different types of cardio. So you've got a few different types of cardio. You've got LISS, which is low intensity steady state cardio, and you've got HIIT, high intensity interval training. There is also endurance as well. There are pros and cons to all, but in order to achieve optimal fat loss, it's a good idea to use a varied approach, and by that I mean use all three really to your advantage. I'll put my plan on screen now. Oh, we're live. Okay, no idea. Alright guys, what's going on? So I'm going to keep this short and sweet because no one really cares too much if it goes on longer than a couple of minutes. This is my calendar for the month we are currently in, June. Oh sorry, that's this week. So at the start of June I started my last few weeks of cutting, so I'm implementing more cardio. I started Monday and Friday, which will be LISS and HIIT, and then review my calories and take my progress photos on a Sunday, and that'll probably be the evening, by the way, because I always forget to do it in the morning. And then that will tell me if I'm reducing my calories or not, and compared to last week, how I felt, whether I've been tired, whether I've just been feeling myself, or whichever. If I'm getting angry, you know, all them sort of little indicators that you are cutting your calories too low. And if obviously all's good and I'm losing fat, but I won't cut them. The week after, I'm implementing more cardio. So Monday, I think there's one on Wednesday as well. Yeah, Wednesday and Friday. So that would be LISS, probably endurance and HIIT, and then the week after that, it'll probably be LISS, HIIT. Oh, go away. HIIT, endurance and HIIT. The more sessions I add of cardio, I'll make a HIIT because it's done quicker, it's more intense, but it's the most effective when it comes to fat loss. Alongside all my training here, I will be doing my resistance training as well. So obviously, if going back on what I just said, if I feel knackered or whichever, I will just do more LISS and I will anything else because I am training resistance alongside. But that's pretty much it guys, that's a general idea anyway. Obviously, and that last week is going to be pure hell. Cardio, I hate saying that. Cardio, but then it's done, and I'll review it then to see if I want to carry it on for a little bit longer. But that is a general idea guys. I hope that gives you a bit of insight. And without further ado, let's get back into the video. My plan, as you can see, it starts off gradual and I slowly increase the cardio sessions throughout the week, and that's on top of my resistance training. So with that being the case, I need to make sure that I'm using cardio to my advantage and not a disadvantage. So a lot of what you're seeing on screen now, the cardio will be LISS, low intensity steady state training, which will probably just be a 40-minute walk or so around my local area. Probably listen to a podcast. It's low intensity, so you're not really gonna fatigue your muscles too much, and you're not really gonna put too much stress on your central nervous system. In regards to pros and cons of HIIT and LISS, HIIT is a lot more intense, but therefore it's a lot quicker. You can get it done and schedule it into your busy day. On the other hand, LISS is less intense, so you're not really gonna have the effect on the central nervous system. You can still train resistance training throughout the week quite nicely while still burning those calories. It will just take a little bit longer. HIIT has been known to be a bit more effective in burning fat, however that's not to say LISS is not. That is why you should throw a variation of HIIT and LISS into your training workouts guys. I feel like I've waffled on for ages guys. Today we focused on cardio and fat loss. I hope you enjoyed the video. I do hope it was helpful. If it was, feel free to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, talk to me in the comments. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And with that being said, peace.